This presentation aims to present the learning acquired throughout the course, English as a vehicular language in the integrated learning of both content and language, CLIL. Through the study of the CLIL approach, we have been able to analyze the principles that explain second language acquisition, the methodological components that support the integration of content and language, and the pedagogical implications of its implementation. Furthermore, we have reflected on the development of linguistic, teaching, and digital competences that are essential for teaching in multilingual context.
CLIL dual focus refers to teaching content and language simultaneously. Lessons aim to students to learn subject knowledge while improving English skills. Language is used as a tool to access and express the content. Teachers plan activities that integrate both objectives, supporting comprehension and communication.
In CLIL, COILES foresees model focus on content, communication, cognition, and culture, while also fostering confidence and competence. Students learn subject, knowledge, content, use language meaningful communication, develop thinking skill cognition, understand culture context, culture, and gain self-assurance, confidence, and practical skill competence to apply learning effectively.
In CLIL Bloom's taxonomy, 1956, is used to structure learning objectives from lower to higher order thinking skills. Students progress from remembering and understanding to applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. This helps teachers design tasks that develop both content, knowledge, and language skills, promoting deeper learning and critical thinking. Lots and Hots, Hall 2002. In CLIL, lots, lower order thinking skills, involve remembering and understanding, while HOT, higher order thinking skills, involve analyzing, evaluating, and creating. They help teachers plan activities that develop both basic and complex thinking.
It translates into a set temporary supports offered by teachers so that the students can perform tasks that, without help, they will not be able to complete to their level or ability. Scaffolding reduces the linguistic load on the pupil and facilitates content comprehension, promoting success. The key idea is, first with support, then progressively without it.
Hard CLIL focuses primarily on content learning, using language as a medium to understand and express subject knowledge. Soft CLIL emphasizes language development, with content serving as a supportive context. Both approaches integrate content and language, but the main focus differs. Hard CLIL is more content-driven, while soft CLIL is more language-driven, allowing teachers to balance objectives based on learners' needs.
In CLIL, Krassen's input hypothesis highlights the importance of comprehensible input for language learning, while Swain's output hypothesis emphasizes produces language to develop accuracy and fluency. Together, they support designing CLIL lessons that provide meaningful exposure to English and opportunities for students to use language actively. These theories help balance listening, reading, speaking, and writing in content-based contexts.
BX, basic interpersonal communicative skills. Everyday language, which can be acquired relatively quickly. It is more colloquial and accessibly. It is stipulated that this language takes around 2 to 3 years to acquire or internalize. internalize. CALP, Cognitive Academic Language Proficiency. Academic and more complex language. The language typically used in an academic context, not in daily life. Its development requires prolonged exposure and carefully planned teaching immersion. Its internalization is stipulated to take between 5 and 8 years.
In CLIL, the linguistic triplet emphasizes three interconnected levels of language: language of learning, general academic language, language for learning, language used to support learning processes, and language through learning, language developed while engaging with content. This framework helps teachers plan activities that integrate subject content and language development, ensuring students use English meaningfully while learning.
In CLIL, active learning engages students in hands-on, collaborative, and meaningful activities to learn both content and language. It encourages participation, problem-solving, and critical thinking, allowing learners to use English in real contexts. This approach makes learning more memorable and helps students build confidence and competence while exploring subject matter. The goal is for them to process information, construct knowledge, and use the foreign language functionally. In this active learning process, the following steps are particularly relevant. Number 1, PBL or PBI, project-based learning or project-based instruction. Number 2, recalling. Number 3, researching. And number 4, relating.
For this type of activity learning to take place in the classrooms, a series of characteristics or conditions must be met: protagonist, student-centered learning, scaffolding, support tools for guidance, gamification, motivating through games, role-play videos, PVI, learning via real or simulated projects, dimensions of learning, tasks, language, procedures, conceptual, clear objectives and concepts, procedural, mastering learning processes and skills, linguistic, language adapted to a student's level, creativity, encourage reflection and peer sharing, and finally, engagement, active participation and motivation.
This model gives activity design based of cognitive demand, low, high, and contextual support, low, high. Quadrant A, easy tasks with high support, suitable for beginners. Quadrant B, complex tasks with high support, ideal for CLIL. Quadrant C, simple tasks with low support, high language load. Quadrant D, difficult tasks with low support, challenging at all levels. Corrections and feedback in a CLIL classroom must be internationally planned because they shape students' progress and motivation. Teachers may use explicit correction, directly pointing out the mistakes and giving the correct form. They can also use recast, subtly reformulating the student's sentence. Other strategies include clarification request, metalinguistic clause, elicitation, and repetition to prompt self-correction and raise awareness of language rules. Explicit correction, recast, and elicitation are generally considered more suitable for primary school students for several reasons related to their cognitive, emotional, and linguistic development.
Created by Snow, Med, and Genesi, 1989. In CLIL, they distinguish between obligatory language, essential technical terms, and structures for understanding content, and compatible language, simpler expression that support communication and allow more complex sentences. Obligatory language ensures comprehension of subject matter, while compatible language makes learning meaningful and engaging. Balancing both types is a key for designing effective CLIL lessons that develop content knowledge and language skills.
Assessment is central in CLIL, combining language and content evaluation. It includes diagnostic, checks students' starting level and learning progress. Formative, provides continuous feedback during learning. And summative, measures learning at the end of a unit or topic. CLIL helps develop the plurilingual competence and the linguistic communication competence by learning content through a foreign language. It also strengthens the cultural awareness and expression competence by exposing students to other cultures through different subjects. The personal, social, and learning-to-learn competence improve as students the strategies and collaborate to understand content. The digital competence is enhanced through the use of online resources that support comprehension. Finally, CLIL contributes to the citizenship competence and the entrepreneurial competence by addressing global topics and fostering creativity and initiative.
The course enhances digital skills by using tools like Canva, PowerPoint, and Genially for visual materials, and screencasts automated, Clipchamp, or Fillmore for video production. These resources improve the quality of educational content and highlighted the importance of multimodal environments. Students learning to integrate technology effectively to support clear teaching and learning.
The sessions improve our understanding of the CLIL approach and developed skills to implement it effectively. Experiencing CLIL firsthand improved our English competence, activity design, and digital skills. The methodology is a complex pedagogical model promoting meaningful, interdisciplinary learning. Teachers act as guides while students are the protagonists. CLIL demonstrates that language and content can be learned together in an engaging and effective way.